Just pay attention to these points to pick delicious watermelons. Hello! Nice to see you again on the Clever Tricks channel. Don't let the appearance fool you. A beautiful-looking watermelon is not necessarily as sweet as you think. But just by looking at it, you can completely recognize which one is juicy, bright red, and naturally sweet, something the seller will never reveal to you. Summer is here, the sun is shining, and that's when watermelons take the throne. Cool, refreshing, and extremely attractive at every market and supermarket. But have you ever eagerly cut open a watermelon that looked perfect, only to be disappointed because it was bland, dry, and tasteless? If so, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to reveal 6 simple yet incredibly effective tips for choosing the right sweet, red, and crunchy melon. Easy to remember, easy to apply, and accurate every time. You don't need any experience. Just remember these 6 external signs to pick the right quality melon. Let's explore with me from the very first minute. Ready? Let's get started. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. Method 1. Veins on the melon's skin. Did you know that the veins on the melon's skin are also a sign of a good melon? Melon skins often have wavy lines. Choose melons with deep, distinct, thick, and even veins, a sign of a juicy, sweet melon. These cracks form when the melon reaches its ideal water level during its growth. If the rind has no veins or the veins are faint and uneven, the melon may be underripe or overripe, which can affect the quality of the flesh. Where are you from? It's such a joy that we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. Method 2. Check the melon's navel. Don't overlook the small but important detail, the navel, the small round spot on the opposite side of the stem. If the navel is small and closed, the melon is usually evenly ripe. The flesh is full. The skin is thin and easy to eat. These fruits are usually naturally ripe, sweet and juicy. If the navel is large, bulging, or has gaps, be careful. The melon is most likely underripe or has been chemically ripened. Such fruits are often bland, have no distinctive aroma, and may even be dry or crumbly. Method 3. A naturally ripe watermelon typically has a dark green rind with a matte, non-shiny finish. This is a sign that the melon is fully ripe, has had enough sunlight, and is ready to eat. On the other hand, if the rind is light green, shiny, or slightly gray, the melon is likely too young and not sweet enough. The flesh will be bland, dry, and lacking in water. Tip: choose a melon with an even matte rind. These are usually naturally ripe, sweet, and juicy. Don't be fooled by the shiny appearance. Look closely at the color of the rind to choose a truly quality fruit for your family. Method 4. Another tip is to check for brown spots on the bottom of the melon, where the melon touches the ground as it grows. If the brown spots are deep yellow or light orange, that's a great sign. This color means the melon ripened naturally in the field, soaking up all the sunlight and nutrients from the soil. The inside will be sweet, juicy, and flavorful. On the other hand, if the brown spots are white or light yellow, the melon may have been picked too early or not quite ripe. The flavor will be bland, dry, and unappetizing. Next time you're at the market, be sure to turn the melon over and check the bottom. Pick one with a deep yellow-brown spot for the perfect summer snack. Method 5. A popular way to choose a melon is to tap it lightly, but many people just tap it for the sake of it without knowing which sound is correct. Here's the correct way. Support one side of the melon with the palm of your hand and tap the opposite side lightly with your other hand. If you feel a vibration through the melon, it's ripe. You can also tap it with your knuckles and listen for the sound. Boom, boom. The melon is just ripe. It will be sweet and crunchy. Tish thuch. The melon is overripe. Talk, talk. The melon is still green. In general, the deeper and more resonant the sound, the riper the melon. From now on, stop randomly tapping melons. You've got the secret. Method 6. Another super simple tip is to try to feel the weight. If you have two melons of the same size, pick them up and compare them. Ecret. The one that feels heavier is usually juicier, has a denser core, and is sweeter. If a melon looks big but feels light in your hand, it's likely that the core is dry or lacking in water. If the melons aren't too big, you can hold one in each hand to compare. The heavier and firmer one is a good choice. This tip comes from experienced melon farmers. They can tell which one is sweet without having to cut it open. A big melon isn't necessarily sweet, but a small, heavy melon is worth choosing. So you've learned 6 little tips to choose the perfect watermelon. Don't just look at the pretty skin or knock it like I did. That doesn't work. A good melon is a combination of many factors, and you need to check carefully to choose the right one. Watermelon contains up to 90% water, very good for cooling down on hot summer days. Drinking enough water every day helps balance the body, especially important for the elderly. Here I will show you how to cut a watermelon simply and beautifully. Make cool watermelon sticks. If you have young children or want to change up the way you eat watermelon, the following tip will make the whole family crazy. Cut the watermelon in half, peel off the green skin to reveal the red inside. Then cut into long rectangular blocks. Use a knife to cut the slices lengthwise into thin slices about 1 to 3 centimeters thick. Take a wooden stick, like a popsicle stick. Gently insert it into the bottom of each slice. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. Arrange the watermelon sticks in a container and put it in the refrigerator or freezer. Watermelon is rich in lycopene, an antioxidant that helps prevent cancer, especially prostate cancer, and is also good for the heart. After a few hours, you will have cool, naturally sweet and crunchy watermelon sticks. No added sugar needed. Great for summer, guaranteed the kids will love it. Cut the melon in half horizontally. You will have 2 halves of melon with beautiful round flesh. Take 1 half of the melon, place the red flesh side down on the cutting board so that the skin side is facing up. This method helps to hold the melon firmly, making it safe to cut and avoid slipping. Use a sharp knife, cut vertically from top to bottom through both the skin and flesh, creating long strips. Cut all the pieces, one by one. The melon pieces are now easy to hold without using a knife or spoon. Gently lift each piece of melon out with your hand and arrange it on a plate. You now have a beautiful melon plate that is easy to hold and doesn't stick to your hands, perfect for parties, picnics, or entertaining guests. Take half a melon and cut off the top. Cut the melon into 4 pieces. Take one piece and start separating the flesh from the rind. Cut it horizontally into bite-sized pieces. Next, take a small piece and place it on a cutting board. Use the tip of a knife to divide the rind into 3 parts. Then gently remove both sides of the rind, keeping only the middle rind as a handle. The finished product is surprising. It looks like a small pine tree or a very cute triangular ice cream stick. You can arrange the melon slices on a plate depending on how you like to present it. When eating, just hold the remaining shell. It is sturdy, easy to hold, and you don't have to worry about water leaking out and dirtying your hands. Method 4. Choose 1/4 of the melon. Use a knife to make a cut from the pointed end down close to the mouth of the melon, but do not cut it completely. Gently separate the melon flesh from the rind and set it aside. Cut off the white core of the rind to make it easier to shape. Cut off the pointed end of the melon flesh to make it easier to shape. Continue to make a cut from the melon flesh to the pointed end. Do not cut it completely. On both sides of the cut long strips to create petals or patterns. Turn the melon rind over. Gently fold the 2 sides of the melon flesh together to create the shape. Use a toothpick to secure it and place it on a decorative plate. Process the melon flesh. The melon flesh that was separated earlier, you cut into long strips lengthwise, then cut into bite-sized pieces. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. Arrange the melon pieces evenly on a plate, combining with the shaped rind in the middle or on the side to increase aesthetics. You will have a delicious, refreshing, and extremely eye-catching watermelon dish, ideal for parties, special occasions, or simply to make your meal more lively. Hopefully, these tips will help you every time you go to the market. Remember to save and share with your loved ones so that everyone can choose delicious watermelon. More information. Watermelon rind can actually be eaten. Do you believe it? Follow me to discover the wonderful uses of watermelon rind in the next video. Goodbye and see you in the next video.